Can you dig it, coach?
Not tonight.
What?
Frustrating loss tonight.
It's all about the digits. You got to dig it.
I dig the digits, but frustrating loss tonight. Bulls lose tonight, 129-124 in San Antonio. How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Windy City Digits. That's Vic. I'm Carl. Bulls Postgame Edition. Thanks, everyone who's watching us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook.
Let's do it, man.
This is the.
What's
this
up,
is now
dude?
what? This is now like what, the third? I can't talk over this music,
Why not?
folks. I'm telling you.
Just started, dude.
This is now the third game where I can't talk over this music.
I'm just gonna keep it going.
God.
There you go. Bam.
Third game now where Zach hasn't played, and I guess it hurt us.
It hasn't hurt us all the games.
No, I mean, look, Kobe stepped it up tonight. Kobe had a huge game tonight. Drummond had a huge game tonight. That made up for the points that Zach would have normally provided you. But plain and simple, the starters were, except for DeMar, the starters were awful.
Okay, so we thought third quarter was bad, first quarter was bad, right?
Third quarter was okay because they were down 2 at the end of the half and they tied it.
Yeah, actually, if you look at the first and third quarter, first quarter was bad. Our rotational defense was really terrible today, and particularly with our starters.
Yeah, they were all negative today.
So you
I
can
was
see
a
this.
negative 22.
Yep.
Booch and DeMar were negative 15. Patrick Williams was negative 7, and AC was a negative 11.
You can see the stats here. We shot. We didn't shoot too poorly, actually. 47.5% to their 54. Our 3-point shooting was not as good as our last game. Our last game, we were just killing it. Free throws, we lead the league, and I don't know if we lead the league in free throws, but 4 games in a row of 20 or more free throws. So we're getting to the line. But our defense, you can't give up 129 points and think you're going to win without better 3-point shooting.
Well, just in 3-point shooting aside, you can't expect to win giving up over 120 points every night. I mean, even without the 3-point shooting, I mean, what did they shoot from the field? I mean, they were 53% from the field overall, right? I mean, they were 40.
Man.
You can't win games allowing your opponent to shoot like that. Podol was 83%, 10 for 12 from the field.
Hey, all right, yeah. So with Drummond, 8 for 12.
Yeah,
he was
Drummond
stud, man.
The whole second unit played great today.
They did, man. Look at the second unit, the pluses. +7, Javante, +1, Derek Jones, Dragic +6, Drummond +13, Kobe +18.
Yeah.
How many turnovers? What was the turnover ratio, man?
I didn't look at the turnovers. Let's see. We had
turnovers.
12. They had 20.
They had 20. Actually, that's really good for the Bulls. 12. That's tolerable, man.
Yeah, look, again, say what you want about the defense and whatever, but our starters, that's the difference in the game. Their starters were better than ours.
They were, absolutely.
You know.
So what do you think the complete downfall to tonight's win was, or loss, I should say?
Look, I'll say it again. Look, I knew you were going to bring this up. Like the first 3-4 minutes when they were hitting all those threes, 3 of those shots, they had hands in their faces and they just still hit the shot. Right?
We're just going to make this excuse for the Bulls all the time.
No. I'm not making this the excuse, but like it wasn't so much. Look, they made the comeback, but there's just sometimes when the team comes out hot like that. I mean, look, McDermott, their normal shooter was 1 for 6. right? The rest of the game, Keldon Johnson was 6 for 12. He started out like 3 for 3 to start the game.
Keldon Johnson was open a ton, man, like wide open. And that was because of our defensive rotations, like people helping out when they shouldn't have been helping out. Our centers, like Vooch was a step slow today. I don't know if you could tell that. I mean, Podol was able to, well, Podol even drove past Drummond, but Podol was like taking it to the rim against Vooch. Vooch can't keep up with Podol. Remember we were talking about for free agency? We were kind of keen on Podol.
Yeah. Look, Podol. We always have a hard. I think Stacey mentioned in the contest, right? We have a hard time against San Antonio. They're a young team. They're athletic. They seem, they didn't care. Like they were aggressive. They were aggressor. They just kept firing up shots. I mean, look, if you look at the number of shots they fired up compared to ours, they seem to fire up a lot more shots. I mean, and they even lost the turnover battle. I mean, we were +8 on the turnovers. That should win you the game. But we weren't, and a lot of that was a start. I think overall the whole game wasn't terrible, but
no, it wasn't terrible.
In the fourth quarter,
there were some positive. There were some good positives in that game too.
The game where the game turned around was in the fourth quarter, with 4 minutes to go in the game. There was a timeout called. Donovan wrote a play, diagram the play. Vooch had a layup to the basket. He missed it. And then on the following possession, he didn't get that defensive rebound, and then they hit a 3. That's a 5-point swing right there. That's the game. And we couldn't recover from that after they hit that 3. They took the lead for good after that 3. So that's where I think the game kind of turned around. That's where the momentum kind of swing, and we could just never get that back. And then I texted you. The other interesting thing was the fact that right after that, there was another timeout, and he took out Vooch and he put Drummond in. And we've talked about it before. Are there going to be scenarios where Vooch is going to be taken out and Drummond's going to finish the game? And tonight was that exact scenario.
Yeah, and I didn't mind that. Vooch was not very good on the offensive end. I think what was he shooting? What's going on over there, buddy?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Vooch shot 4 of 13.
He scored 2 points in the first half.
Yeah, Caruso didn't play particularly well either, quite honestly. But the big positive, obviously, was Kobe, Drummond, and even Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I mean, he scored. This is the most minutes he's played, I think, in about 3 or 4 games. He was looking for a shot, which was nice. He drove the basket. He even got 2 rebounds, man.
Yeah. Look, Patrick Williams looked like he's, like Stacey mentioned in the broadcast, he's starting to get more comfortable. Seemed to be a lot more aggressive, right? Tonight, Kobe, this is easily his best game he's played as a pro. Tonight.
Well, let's not downplay how well San Antonio's played in the beginning of the season. I mean, besides one terrible loss, I think one terrible loss. They've beaten now Chicago, Philadelphia, Indiana only by 3, and Minnesota.
Well, look, right now I'm saying you beat Philadelphia isn't much right now.
Yeah, but come on. I mean, weren't we picking them for? Wouldn't you think that the Bulls playing Philadelphia is probably tough?
It's only tough because we have never beaten them as long as they've had Embiid.
Oh, geez. Yeah, that is true. But they're a good team, man. I'm not talking about Philadelphia. Is still a good team.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying that they're not a good team. I'm just saying that it's a tough game because as long as Embiid's and Embiid didn't even play tonight to rest up for tomorrow. So Embiid playing tomorrow against the Bulls, rested, not playing off a back-to-back. We haven't beaten him as long as he's been in the league. So that's why it's going to be a tough game.
What'd you like about Kobe's play tonight? Because regardless if we won, I would say he was player of the game for the Bulls.
Yeah, he was just aggressive. Well, I still think it's DeMar, but
I think that's obvious when he's scoring 33 points a game.
But look, Kobe was just aggressive, right? He seemed to handle the ball well. He was all over the place. He grabbed 4 rebounds, had 4 assists, only 1 turnover, had 1 steal, shot 50% from the field, 3 for 7 from deep. Those are solid numbers for anyone. Even a starter. I mean, he played starters minutes and he played 30 minutes tonight. That's more than Io. That's more than AC. I mean, he was the one guard that played the most. Dragic only played 21. So he was the guard that was out there that was picking up Zach's minutes tonight.
I think I actually agree with Skokes here. I think Patrick Williams was playing fairly well. I might have even thrown him in as well towards the end of the game. Okay. Or even DJ. I mean, he came in for defense at the end game, but I think his defense would have helped in this instant.
Well, look, it was a combination of things, right? You needed not only the defense, but you needed the guys that were going to be aggressive going to the hole. Right?
Spurs won, Mr. Z.
Thanks for checking in, Mr. Z. I'm not sure if you're a Spurs fan or not, but thanks for checking in, Mr. Z. We appreciate it.
Let's also talk about what a moment for DeMar.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool moment, especially with the way Pop had it set in his head. He was going to take the timeout. And the PA announcer didn't even miss a beat. I mean, the timeout was barely called, and he was there ready with the announcement. And then DeMar walking over to Pop at the end of the timeout, I thought was a cool moment too. So I personally didn't realize he had actually scored that many points in his career. I mean, I knew he was a good player. I knew he was a good offensive player, but I would have never thought he was anywhere near 20,000 points.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting? They were showing on the broadcast. I had seen a tweet by someone before too, but this was exactly the same day that he had his first NBA game, I think.
Yeah.
Or his first made basket in the NBA.
Yeah, and there was like one player in the Spurs, I think was it Johnson? He scored his first NBA points tonight.
Keldon Johnson?
No, I think it was one of the other. Might have been Wesley.
Wesley was the kid. It was Wesley from Notre Dame.
Yeah, tonight he scored his first points in the league, and DeMar scored over his 20,000 points. So yeah, it was a cool moment, right? Unfortunately, it came in a losing situation, so that's the downside of it. But they made a good effort to come back, but still, it's one of those things they got to close that game out against a team like that. They've got to close it out. Here's the other thing is, like, you and I talked about this briefly. It seems like the teams that we should be beating, we're losing to.
You would think so.
And the teams we're supposed to lose to, we're beating.
Which is the complete opposite of last year.
Yeah.
So what the heck? By the way, San Antonio has the 10th best offense in the NBA right now at 118 points per game. The Bulls are somewhere around 21st in offense.
Okay.
If we were going to look at, I should look at defense exactly.
Either way, right? It doesn't matter where they're ranked offensively. You still can't give up 120 points every night and expect to win.
Yes, exactly. But it does matter their defense. Their defense is still not strong enough. But it is at points in the game. Connor,
thanks for checking in. He definitely didn't have a good game tonight. That's for sure.
I would say he's not in decline.
Well, it seems like all of the Bulls right now, like I don't know, some of the key pieces,
Yeah.
except for DeMar, like they have all these little ailments. Like they talked about how AC is kind of still on a minutes restriction, like unofficial minutes restriction. They're trying to limit his minutes during the game. They're trying to keep him to like 24, 26 minutes a game, which obviously can hurt at times, because we need him. We need him in the lineup. Especially with.
Yeah, we miss it. We miss Zach tonight for this game.
Yeah, look, we missed them, right? But again, Kobe and Drummond picked up the slack. Now, look, if Zach's there, yeah, I mean, I don't know how much of a different result it's going to be. I don't know if we're going to still resist them from scoring 120 points because Zach's not exactly a defensive specialist. Maybe if Zoe's playing, maybe it's a different game.
Yeah, possibly. But I mean, Zach, I don't think Zach's any worse or better than Kobe defensively. I think they're probably very similar. But Kobe does look pretty solid on defense when I'm watching him play. He's moving his feet well. He got 4 rebounds too.
Yeah, that's like I said, he was all over the court tonight.
Steal. But Andre Drummond, dude, he's 17, 14, 2 assists and 3 steals. You couldn't ask for more. And we didn't complain about him necessarily, but there were a lot of Bulls fans that said, boy, couldn't you have gotten someone better?
Yeah, you know what? That's funny you mentioned that because I saw something the other day on Twitter where people were complaining. I saw people complaining that we didn't because Reinsdorf's cheap. Like we didn't get Mo Bamba. And if we had Mo Bamba, we'd be better. Mo Bamba's averaging like single digits.
Yeah.
And is barely getting 13 minutes a game, maybe 12 minutes a game. Drummond, and you and I have talked about this multiple times. There's a connection between Dragic and Drummond. That behind the back pass that Dragic threw, I don't know how on earth he saw Drummond.
That was
in the third quarter.
That was pretty sweet, man.
Yeah, and that connection they've got, I don't know where AK and ME came up with that, but we talked about it a little bit tonight too. I think we have the best bench in the league.
It's pretty darn good, man.
I mean,
yeah. And surprisingly, I think I was worried about the second unit shooting, but
it's not a problem.
But it isn't a problem, and a lot of it has to do with Dragic and Drummond, and also the amount of cutting that second team does and driving to the hoop, and that's what I really liked about Kobe today. He was taking it to the hoop as well as shooting.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's one thing I don't understand sometimes about the Bulls. And even though DeMar scores 33 points tonight, there are a few times in that fourth quarter where, I saw some people open for.
You're always on that case.
Well, it's just like you are with Zach. You're right. It's very similar. I think DeMar gets hot, and then they get into this ISO. We only had, I think, 19 or 20 assists. The Bulls need to have up in the range of like 25 assists or more to be successful.
Well,
it just seems that way.
Look, again, part of that is a terrible shooting from the starters. I mean, there will be more assists if they hit some of these shots like that play I said in the fourth quarter. It was a great setup. It was a great play. The pass was there. Vooch was right at the rim, and he missed it. He missed the layup.
You know what? It was really So Vooch had a very off night, and Caruso was only one. Caruso was only 1 for 5. But if you look at the rest of the lineup, Javante and Dragic didn't have as good a game. A little lower shooting percentage, but everybody else was 50% or above.
Yeah, but again, that's where I think, again, sometimes the numbers,
are deceiving.
I wouldn't say deceiving, but look.
What are you saying?
We have more assists, obviously, if we're shooting a little bit better. And when we don't shoot well, right, especially guys like Vooch and the starting line, Vooch is normally a double guy. He only had 5 rebounds tonight, only 9 points.
Yeah.
If he hits 3 or 4 more of those shots, we win the game.
Vooch only played 24 minutes tonight too.
Yeah, Drummond played
DeMar
22.
DeMar had a 35-minute game.
Yeah, Connor, that second unit was running and gunning tonight. Like they had a ton of energy with that second unit. They brought it tonight. They were defensively, they were getting at it. They were grabbing a ton of rebounds. That the starters were just awful tonight.
Defensively, Vooch was off offensively. I don't know if the starters completely stunk all the way around.
Well, AC was only 1 for 5.
Yeah, those two, they just didn't play like they normally do. And I thought Caruso was a little bit slow on defense too. I don't know. I'm not sure why. Maybe he has an injury, but it was not good to see Ayo get hurt. And I don't know if you guys noticed, Drummond, when he fell on his arm with his arm up like this, I was worried about. What were you worried about?
I wasn't worried about anything.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Other people were worried about a shoulder separation, I think. And then on the bench, right before he got called in in the fourth quarter, the trainers were wrapping his arm, putting ice on it already. I'd be concerned.
I'd be more concerned about Ayo.
I'm concerned about both. They're both integral parts of this team right now.
Yeah, well, everybody is. Here's the other thing. Dalen Terry may not even find the court this year with the way these 11 are playing.
No, I don't think they will unless there's an injury.
Yeah, and when Zoe comes back, he's not going to find the court.
I know. Yeah, I know. I almost think the guy needs to go to the G League and get some minutes there, man.
Well, they sent down Marco today to Windy City Bulls.
I did not see that, actually.
Yeah, they announced that they sent Marco down to Windy City Bulls. He wasn't even on the bench tonight, I don't think. But there's also, they said after tonight's game, they would be allowed to cut one player, and then they could sign another player for the league minimum.
Yes. Yeah. I heard
so that tonight could have been Tony Bradley's last game with the Bulls.
Tonight.
And then let's see who they pick up. I don't know who's out there, but with the way that AK and ME have been able to
make it right tonight. Well, we're not going to make it right. I'm sorry. So tell me this: do you feel like you and I click like Drummond and Dragic?
Not at this very moment.
All right. So what do you forecast, guys, out there for the tomorrow night's game? Is Zach is going to play? I'm assuming.
Zach's going to play.
Zach's going to play.
Zach will play. I don't know if Ayo's going to go tomorrow
because of his head injury. I'm assuming. Yeah. I wonder if we listen to the post game. I wonder if he was in like a concussion protocol just to make sure, and that's why he was in the training room.
He wouldn't have been allowed to come back in the game if he was obviously with a concussion.
Well, not concussion protocol, but just getting checked for a concussion to make sure he didn't have any symptoms.
Yeah.
Yes, we absolutely need a full squad. I mean, this Zach being out, it hurts us.
Jeffrey, what's going on? Yeah, look, Zach's going to play tomorrow.
He had a great. His last game was good.
Like I said the other day, who knows when he'll play back to back. Stacy mentioned this in the pregame tonight. He was mentioning how you got to play the schedule. You don't have any say in the schedule. It's what's given to you. But he said this start of the schedule is brutal. He was saying that this is the second time now where we've had to play 3 games in 4 nights. This is our second back-to-back, I think. He's saying that this is brutal. And then the schedule we have next week, he said, is tough too. So this is a tough stretch at the beginning of the season. And without Zach playing back-to-backs, and he may not all year. Who knows? It's going to test the team. It's going to stretch the team a little bit.
I'm posting that. Yeah, I think the Bulls do take advantage of DeMar quite a bit, actually. What did DeMar shoot free throw wise again? Was he like 11 or 12?
11 for 12.
Yeah. So I mean, DeMar got his. He got enough shots up, man. Does he?
Yeah.
Are we suggesting he should take more?
I don't know
Would
if
you- Yeah.
look.
Would you
I think he can handle the ball, but with the number of guards that we've got on this team, if we're going to rely on DeMar to be the point guard, we've got a bunch of other problems.
Oh my God!
We basically have 4 other guys that can play that are really supposed to be playing point guard, and just between Lonzo's hurt right now, but basically between Io, Caruso, and Dragic, I'll even throw Kobe in there, right? Those 4 guys are really designed to be more of the point guard and distributors more than anything else. DeMar does have to have the ball in his hand, but his career numbers show he's not a facilitator. He might average, I think, maybe 4 assists a game.
That's exactly
over his career.
That's exactly what it is.
Right? Is it 4 assists for his career?
Yep.
So he's not really a facilitator, but I get what you're saying, Connor. But I don't think it's a specialty. Would you agree with that?
I would absolutely agree with that. And even though as much as some people want Kobe to be a point guard, he's not a guy that is going to be dishing the ball out either. But tonight he showed really good ability to go between people, a nice Euro step with a nice floater. He was actually attacking the rim even besides his 3-point shooting. So the Bulls need to continue to do that. Oh dear Lord.
Jeffrey, you're going to start trouble again like we did all last year. Like
the Nets are in bad shape.
Trade for KD. Give up the house. Give up whatever they want. Trade DeMar.
Well, I did see on Twitter some people saying already, I think a Bulls fan Twitter or whatever page, they're already saying sell Kobe high right now. Don't make the same mistake as we did last year. The only way you're going to be trading Kobe this year is if you are for sure going to get some amazing 3-point shooter, and no one's going to be trading that.
No, or you got a number 1 pick, or you got a first-round pick.
I don't. Who's going to trade a first-round pick for Kobe?
That's what I mean, right?
Yeah, it's not happening. Where the Bulls are not going to be trading Kobe unless they for sure know they are going to lose him. They're not going to sign him, and then maybe they do trade him, but it won't be for a first-round pick. Maybe you'll get a second-round pick for him. But that's not. That's not what this team needs.
No, I mean, look, Kobe's playing well. He's a good piece of it, right? What you've got right now, it's early in the season. It's too early, I think, to be
talking about trading people.
It's too early about talking to trade people, but let's be honest, both Kobe and Vooch are free agents at the end of the year, right?
Mm-hmm.
With the way things are going right now, and again, it's way too early, but if Kobe keeps on this pace, I'd seriously have to think about re-signing Kobe and going elsewhere with Vooch. I mean, Drummond looks like he's rejuvenated. Like
he
Drummond
does,
looks like
man.
Drummond looks like he could and we talked about this when we signed him, right? He signed a 2-year deal, right? And this guy could easily step into that starting role, and it almost looks like he wants that starting role.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, if he didn't have all the amount of boards, I wonder how many. You know what?
He had 14 boards tonight.
I know, but how many offensive rebounds did he have?
7.
Geez. I mean, we wouldn't even be within 5 points without Andre Drummond tonight.
Yeah.
No doubt
right?
about it. And
Yeah.
he's, you know what? He's so he got a double. I think he's had 10 rebounds or more in the last 3 games in a row
Mhm.
with very little minutes. So imagine if he was getting the minutes Fuchs was getting.
Yeah, I mean, they talked. Stacy talked about it too. 22 minutes and the numbers he's putting up. Those are stardom. Those are numbers that Vooch normally puts up on a nightly basis in 30
Yeah,
minutes a game,
yeah,
right? Um,
yeah,
but tonight I thought was again. I'll bring it up again. Like the thing I think was interesting, the fact that he closed with Drummond at the end of the game.
yep.
Um, you know, in
You
a
know,
close game.
the Bulls had 13 steals too. 13 steals to 7 steals. We should have been able to win this game. And whoever was talking about we got young legs and that we should be driving it, taking advantage of the fast break.
Yeah,
They're absolutely right. But I think
that was Connor.
San Antonio was doing a good job of getting back, unlike the Bulls at times. The Bulls, for some reason, sometimes when they get back, they're missing a guy, like they don't see their guy. They sneak down low. Um, I wonder
It's
what
not.
you should pull up the shooting chart for tonight, like you've done in the past.
Well, when they come back on defense, it's a mismatch because they're the wrong one guy doesn't run back right away, and then it ends up
Yep.
being all mismatches.
Yep.
So let's take a look at that first period.
Someone asked an interesting question. Who was it? Daniel Greenberg, Casey Johnson. No, it was Joe Colley, my favorite friend, Joe Colley. Joe Colley actually has been pretty positive about the Bulls so far this year, but he's like, who's going to end up to be have the better NBA career? Is it going to be Doug McDermott or is it going to be Patrick Williams? Ultimately, at the end of their careers, who's going to end up having the better career? What would
It'll
you say?
it'll be Patrick Williams. It just won't be as a Bull.
I think you're right. Unless he continues um, on this path the last 2 games, because the last 2 games is the best he's looked.
Yeah, but look, and Connor brought this up, right? Patrick Williams should get more minutes. He has two-way potential. I don't doubt that, right? But he doesn't seem to fit. He doesn't seem to be very comfortable in that secondary role. Zach is signed to a 5-year deal. Patrick Williams will never be the top dog here as long as Zach is around. He's always going to be that second complementary piece, right?
So what do you think about? Okay, and I think you're right with that. So what do you think about having a combination of Drummond and Vooch in the lineup at the same time
Too slow.
again?
Too slow. You can only throw that lineup against another team that throws out 2 big men, and no other team in the league has 2 big men at all in the game at the same time anymore.
That is true. But I actually think Drummond's actually playing pretty darn good defense. He's even
Drummond
yeah.
plays great defense, but if someone is able to take the dribble on him, he's not going to be able to keep up. That
No,
was proven tonight.
yeah, you could tell that with Podol, but either could Vucevic. So too slow. Yes, White Sox, the great Joe Colley.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's the thing is like you're not going to be able to play both of those guys at the same time at the end of the game just because of matchups. You're definitely better off playing one of them and then either having Derek Jones Jr. or Javante play that power forward. Again, Patrick Williams, I don't know what it is yet. He just doesn't have that closing mentality yet, which I think that's why Billy doesn't have him in at the end of the game. That's why, even Derek Jones Jr. got in at the end of the game, and that last minute or so. But
he did that strictly for his length to disrupt passing lanes to try and get a steal.
but supposedly that's what Patrick Williams is, right? He's long, right? Supposedly Patrick Williams is long. He's got the wingspan. Supposed to be your great defender. If he's that great of a defender at the end of the game, he should be the guy in. And he's just not.
So the Bulls tomorrow are going to be playing the Sixers. Embiid's averaging 27.6 points a game. Harden 25. Maxey 20.
Maxey put up 44 tonight.
Tobias Harris 12.6. So let's hope he got it out of his system. I see this. I am kind of nervous about this because between Tyrese and James Harden are both shooting around 38 to 40% clip from threes, but the Sixers also have Harris, Melton, Yang, and Tucker all shooting about 41, 42% from threes. And we just don't guard the three-point line very well.
That part's not going to matter tomorrow. I mean, just throw the numbers out tomorrow. We're catching Philadelphia at the wrong time. They look like they've kind of figured it out a little bit here. They scored. I mean, they beat Toronto tonight by 22 points, and that was without Embiid tonight. Maxey put up 44. So with Embiid back tomorrow, and that three-headed monster of Maxey, James Harden, and Embiid, that's going to be a tough game tomorrow.
That's what I just said.
But the numbers aren't going to matter. No, the numbers aren't going to matter tomorrow.
Why aren't the numbers going to matter tomorrow? You mean the numbers about their points per game that I was talking about and their field goal percentage?
The threes aren't going to matter tomorrow because Embiid's back in the game and Embiid's going to totally dominate from the inside.
You know what? Honestly, I think Embiid's killed us from the 3-point range when we played them and like a long-range game. I mean, that guy can knock down jumpers with the best of them.
I just think tomorrow is going to be one of those games where, like I said, they're kind of energized right now. They played a little bit earlier than us tonight, even though they played in Toronto. Both teams are traveling tonight. They've got a shorter bit to travel. They'll be in town before the Bulls get back. But look, again, I watched, I think, the first half of that game tonight against Toronto, or the first, quarter, whatever. And Philadelphia just looks like they figured it out. Like they're on all cylinders right now, and they struggled out a little bit out of the gate.
Well, for sure, they lost the first 3 games and won the last 2 out of 3.
Yeah, and again, that was impressive what they did tonight without Embiid. I mean, Toronto had a full roster. They've been playing pretty well. They just beat Philadelphia the other night with Embiid, I think by like 4 or 6 points. And tonight they got crushed.
Crushed. I want to see some more Chai Slamma Jamma tomorrow. We didn't see enough. We need to see some more high flying DJ and Javante.
Well, you're not going to see it with Zach in the game tomorrow.
We did the last game, so.
Well, they were saying, did you see those comments?
This is where we argue about this stuff.
No, I mean, didn't you see they were talking about how Zach, doesn't seem to have the same lift right now?
We talked about it the last time. I'm not talking about Zach. I'm talking about all the other guys.
Oh, okay.
I love seeing DJ, throw it down, and Javante.
Even Drummond, throw Drummond in that group.
Even Caruso, man. So,
all right. Well,
we got a chance.
Yeah, the Bulls lose tonight, and tomorrow we get Philadelphia. We'll see how that game goes tomorrow. Zach hopefully should be back tomorrow. Hopefully we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to work on that chemistry thing for tomorrow to see if we can get our pick and roll working tomorrow night for the game. So thanks everyone for tuning in, especially the new people. Connor, thanks for checking in. Jeffrey, Skokes, everyone, Mr. Z, thanks for checking in tonight. We do appreciate it. If you have any chance, hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell to get notified on future episodes. Thanks everyone watching.
Let's get it next time, Bulls.
Facebook and Twitter. We'll see you guys next time. Peace,
love,
and digits.